Hey everyone, Adam here, So Is Your Podcast. Today I got a comic review for you. We got to check out a new book by Inside Comics. It's called Cover of Darkness, Femme Fatales. 4 short horror stories. Some might have some familiar elements to you, but I think they're done in a new, clever way, which I appreciated. It's an anthology book, which I always love. I've said that a million times. The 4 stories are Bloody Mary, written by George McHale, who's been on the podcast before, so check out the YouTube channel for another interview with him. Art by Nat Jones, lettering by Nikki Powers. Nikki Powers actually did lettering on all 4 of these stories, so she must be busy. And George McHale actually wrote 3 of the 4, so that's pretty cool that they're working together and they're kind of getting this creative team going. Phantom Forever is the second story, again, written by George McHale, line art by Ty Peterson, color by Haley Renee Brown, lettering, as I said, Nikki Powers. Madame Mysterio, hopefully I'm saying that right. Writer is Chris Cam, art by Vince L. Tabanos, and letter Nikki Powers. And the last one, which was my favorite story, is The Bride, written by George McHale, art by Colin Turnbull, lettering by Nikki Powers. I don't want to go into a ton of detail about what each of these initial stories are. As you know, the first one is Bloody Mary. I'm sure we all heard that like kind of legend as kids. This is a new take on it, at least for me, not the one that I heard as a kid. I really liked this story, and the title isn't on the title page for the review PDF we got. It will be for the copy that you go out and check out. So I didn't see it coming, which I thought was pretty cool. I actually had more fun with it that way, so maybe I shouldn't have blabbed on that. I thought it was really good. It was really clever. The art in that one was my absolute favorite, and when it kind of came full circle, I saw how it worked, and I saw how it has the same elements as the urban legend I heard as a kid without being a direct copy, so hugely appreciated that. Now, when I say Bloody Mary was my favorite art, it is by no means knocking the other 3 stories. I loved the art across all of these. They all had a unique style, but it still fit with the tone of the book. You didn't turn a page, well, virtually. You didn't scroll down and see a totally different thing and kind of taken out of it, even though they are short stories and they could have 4 distinct, very distinct styles, but thematically they fit. The art is high quality in all of them. Great lettering, and that's consistent because it's Nikki Powers, but she doesn't do the same exact thing in all of them either. They all have their own unique, where if it was a different letter for each, I could buy that just as easily as one person doing it all, which is great. Phantom Forever and Madame Mysterio, which, again, I hope I'm saying that right, are the middle stories. Again, I don't want to go into a ton of detail on what each story is because it's a 28-page book for 4 stories, so they're pretty short. So I feel like giving you detail is going to give it away. And them being a quick read makes it fast-paced and fun, but I also don't want to spoil what's coming because some of them you see coming, but it's clever how it ties in perfectly and you get that satisfaction. And other ones, like I was saying for Bloody Mary, because I didn't know the name, I didn't exactly see it coming, and when it did, I thought it was super clever. While the art in Bloody Mary was my favorite story was actually The Bride. It was a new story to me. I don't know if this is an urban legend or a folklore thing that maybe some of you have heard. I hadn't heard this one. I thought it was really cool. The visuals were awesome. They have some good compilation type pages where you get a good chance for some of that horror gore you want without it being over the top. I really felt for the character, which was a great accomplishment in just 6 or 7 pages. And when you get to that tipping point, that, final act, pivotal point, it really was satisfying in a lot of ways, but leaves you with some other emotions as well that make it a much more satisfying read. So I had the most fun with the discovery of that one, and it was a nice one to go out on. I find sometimes with compilations or anthologies, if the first one or the second one starts so strong and the rest, no matter how good they are, just aren't as strong, it can be kind of a letdown. And I'm not pitting one of these stories against the other because it was my personal favorite. It doesn't mean it's going to be your personal favorite, but just the way the 4 lined up for me made the overall read very satisfying, which is also important in anthology. Cover of Darkness, Femme Fatales is available now through SourcePoint Press. Just do a quick Google search. You're going to find it pretty much anywhere. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was good if you're into horror anthologies. This one's going to be right up your alley. Quality artwork, quality coloring, quality atmosphere, strong writing, especially for such short stories. It's hard to tell a story in that amount of time. So huge credit to the writers, George McHale and Chris Cam. And as I said, George McHale's actually been on the channel before, so look for his name on our YouTube and enjoy that interview as well. Thanks for watching. Please make sure to like and subscribe. hit the bell, do all those things. We've got a lot more coverage, unboxings. I got a really cool thing in the works that I'm excited to share with you guys. More interviews lined up, movie reviews. Amazon screeners are flooding back in again. They seem to come in waves, so you're not going to want to miss out. Check it all out. Make sure you listen to So Wizard Podcast every single week, wherever you get your podcasts. SoWizardPodcast.com is your resource for reviews, recommendations, videos, merchandise, and more. So Wizard Podcast can also be found on Patreon, where for as little as $1 a month, you get multiple monthly bonus shows. We love hearing feedback, so drop us a note in the comments, leave us something on social media. All the accounts can be found after the show and in the show notes. On a more personal note, a good friend and I have our own comic series. It's a comedy, though, not a horror anthology. It's an ongoing story about a group of friends navigating all the pitfalls and drama and hilarity of high school. We do it in the prism of the 90s cartoons that we grew up on and love. We write it like a sitcom. We have 10 issues available now. Issue 11 comes in just a couple weeks. Issue 12 a few weeks after that. So plenty of social studies, I should probably say the name, to check out. You can find it all at socialstudiescomic.com, on Comixology, and on Global Comics. Thanks.